brothers, welcome back to Openfront IO. Version 24 is here. We're going to quickly go over the important changes that are going to impact your game, talk about what's not here, and I'll leave a link if you want to check out everything that is in here. I'm just going to go over the big highlights here. So first off, trade chips are now capped at 150. I know a lot of people have been struggling with lag in the game. This should definitely help. So now how much trade you get is based off how many ports you have. That's going to work out really well. Mervs are going to be nerfed, so they're not as devastating. Basically, the impact zone isn't as large. Hopefully that will speed up the game. We'll try and see if we can get into a game that we can show that. Warships now prioritize enemy transport ships over another warships, and they reload instantly after destroying another warship. This is a really important one. So if you've ever been trying to defend against someone invading from you, your warships will now prioritize destroying those transport ships. Great change there. Building discounts can only be used one time. So there was a strategy of you build a city on the border with an AI, the AI takes it over. Your first city costs 125. Once the AI takes it over, you can build a second city at 125. That is no longer the case. And now AI nukes now avoid SAM launchers. The AI has been very heavily reprogrammed to number one, be more aggressive, and number two, they do launch nukes, so be careful. Now, trains have been, they are going to be in the game. They are in single player right now, trains and factories, but they're not in the base game right now. There's a few bugs they're working through. So trains and factories will be on later on. Now, this is another big one, upgradable structures, cities, ports, and SAMs. So you used to be able to stack a bunch of cities on like a tiny island. You can still do that, but basically they all kind of come together in one spot. This should also help out a little bit with performance, so there'll just be one city with 25 rather than 25 little dots all over your little island. Other than that, there's been some UI changes, and more importantly, your feed has been kind of slowed down a little bit, so you should be able to see like when someone's merving you. It's not buried in a list of trade acquired type messages. So those are the changes. Let's get into the game and see how they affect gameplay. Alrighty, we're starting off today here in a 50-player battle here in Haldiki. So we are this green or this white dot over here. We're 0 today. So we need to get a little bit of expansion going. First thing, like we talked about in kind of the update notes, the change log, is that the AI is a lot more aggressive. So we're gonna have to kind of figure out a new expansion pattern here. As you see, I'm trying to be more aggressive, but the bots are just grabbing so much land here right away. It is very competitive. We end up in 22, so our strategy is not great. We're gonna have to figure something else out. But our kind of bot phase strategy should still be active and working. So we'll just wait until we get to about now and just kind of go. Waiting until about yellow interest, about half our troops, and then expanding outwards. So what is our overarching goal? Well, we have a lot of room around us. We're gonna be targeting easier bots, aka bots that we have a good kind of land border with, and also aren't incredibly strong, to hopefully get some quick eliminations. And then we're going to be pushing out. We do have the ability to lock a lot of bots behind us, so that's going to be our strategy in doing that. So we got to push out to the east. I'm not going to worry about the south for now. I know people can boat in there. I want to push up north. There's a lot of opportunity up north, and I want to get over to Bull and kind of block him from wanting to come across the river. So let's go after another easy bot right here and just kind of launch this attack. And we're pretty close to our first city. Want to be sure to get that down right away. This is also gonna be another bot we could potentially get a pinch off to. No? Okay, he must have started up north, and okay, that's fair, whatever. So we don't get that, but we can knock him down and get our first city. This menu has changed a little bit. Now, the only thing I have to say about the new kind of build menu is I would be very cautious in building ports specifically. Ports are at the top of the menu. If you're building ports and trying to stack them, if you keep building ports on top of each other, hold on, we gotta deal with this. They're trying to steal my city. If you're trying to build ports on top of each other, if you accidentally click off where your port is, you might accidentally launch a nuke. It'll basically, like, if you click on the blank space right next to where your port is, instead of trying to build on the port, instead of giving you the option to build another port, it'll be like, do you want to build a nuke? And you might accidentally nuke yourself. I did that a few times in our playtest today, but there you can see that we can stack cities. It's a little bit easier to see where people's strength are, because you can zoom out and you can see there's a little 2 above my city to imply that there are 2 cities there. But we need to get over and cut off this blue player coming down south. This needs to be our priority. We're doing pretty good with 2 cities. Always prioritize cities over ports. You can get trade later. The cities will impact you right now. I mean, the gold we get from taking out these bots is going to be a lot more impactful than waiting 5 minutes for a trade ship to come through. So we can get that, and I'm going to go ahead and take the safe bet and cutting you off. Oh, I do see that someone's coming from the south. We'll worry about that later. I just want to make sure that that's getting cut off. Yeah, we need to start working on you. We took a little bit too long grabbing this land, so now we need to work to put a few more bots behind us, as we do have some potential encirclement chances, but I'm much more concerned about my position and blocking others from grabbing any of these bots behind me, as we are decent on the leaderboard. We're in the top 20, not exactly crushing, but we have a lot of bots still to grab. Let's get a third city here, and we'll start going after these bots. Yeah, Bool is coming over here to grab these bots. It's a smart play on his part, but we still have a ton of bots behind us. We're not the most concerned with it. And in fact, we can still get an encirclement here, but it's going to be a small one. You cannot get an encirclement on a bot that is touching the edge of the map, unfortunately. So that is, let's get a port down. It's a change I kind of understand, but I'd also like to see, the edge of the map. I would like to be cut off territory. But we do end up in second place now. Let's get a second port down. And you are very weak. Hello, and you build a city on my side? Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and just jump on that, grab that, and that'll be our fourth city. So we're off to quite the start here. As this area, I'm telling you, if you haven't looked at the lower west side of Haldiki, this spot is pretty goated. I win here really consistently. I don't think I've really lost too many times. We could get a warship out here. I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's a little bit of trade we can steal. And in terms of where we want to go, let's boat over here. Actually, never mind. Take that boat back. We can just go into Bool. It's a much better target for us. Send a boat right here. Actually, let's go for cities. Send a boat there. And let's just kind of blitz through this guy, trying to get an alliance with you. Alliances have shifted to this menu, so you got to go to the eye and then the handshake. You have basically full sent me, so we can jump on this. There's another city for us and another port. That's great. He's down to 2 cities himself. He's building a fort. Forts take a little bit longer, or kind of have a progress bar to build. Everything has a progress bar, but building the fort progress bar is really nice. So you can, as an attacker, see how much more time you have to potentially jump through. Speaking of attacking, we need to kind of slow things down, but I do want to grab this last city here and this port if we can. Let's jump over here and grab this. We need to slow down a bit because we are kind of extending too many troops. But a good start for us right now, as we are at 7 and 4, 7 cities, 4 ports. And let's go up here and see if we can get the elimination. We did get the alliance with Volps. I did see that earlier. Yeah, so we did get that alliance. So that is good. That was kind of a big threat on our borders as we were being aggressive. Now, in terms of how does this update change? First off, one more update to point out. We can see above Bruh's name that he has 3 Zs. That means he left the game. Fantastic change. Thank goodness. We can finally tell who's in the game and who's not. Love that. But how do I kind of feel like the game plays? If I'm being straightforward with you, I feel like a lot of these changes are good. But at the same time, I feel like one of the things that this game would really need to address is people get very much caught into the complexity of the game and kind of nose to the grindstone as we build some more cities. Like, you get very much caught into tunnel visioning into a small war or building your economy, and you're never really looking up at the general picture of things. So people don't really want to come together to fight the crown. I do think the messaging system for like trying to get people to work together is not exactly amazing. Instead of just be like instead of in territorial just being able to like say directionally, hey, you attack this guy, it sends up a flare system and everyone knows that's a flare system. So it's kind of a dispersion of responsibility, which is essentially the more people asked to do something, the less likely anyone is to do that specific task. A good example of this is if you're going along the highway and you break down, you're less likely to get help from a stranger passing by than you are if you broke down on a country road and only 2 people passed you by. So I think the flare system doesn't work well. We need to just block this, get that warship out of there. And we're quite a little bit short on the second one. So I think a system like territorial where it's just more directional would help out a lot. I understand you have the 5,000 menus to be able to directly communicate that, but if I've never seen anyone use it, the messaging system, and I would say if your system is so rare that no one really uses it, it's probably not a good system. But I do really have a lot of faith in the Openfront community or development team. They really seem to have a good head on their shoulders in terms of challenging everything and changing what's appropriate. It's a fantastic mentality to have. They did do a lot of experimentation with the UI. It was unpopular. They listened to the community and they reverted it back. So I think overall we're going in a good direction. I just think we could do a little bit better in communicating and trying to get bigger communal fights against the crown. But we'll see how that kind of plays out here as we'll refocus ourselves into the game. We're doing pretty well for ourselves as we've eliminated this guy. And once again, we have been yapping, so we've been attacking and we're a little bit low on troops. So we need to slow this down a little bit and finish this guy, but get his gold and then kind of reevaluate ourselves. We need to get up to at least yellow. Let's get a SAM site here. By the way, I'm not a super duper fan of the kind of zoom in icons. It kind of looks a little bit like SimCity circa 2000. That's kind of a personal preference, though. I'm not going to give anyone a crap on that. But it's not my personal favorite. I would just like if the icons stayed the same, whether you zoomed in or out. But those are kind of the big changes so far. I mean, as we play it out, we'll try and see if we can get like a Merv. That'll be a big goal because I do want to see the new and improved Merv. But I do really love seeing who's left the game. And my goodness, once the community kind of gets a hold of this one and knows that, these guys are going to be dead zones. Like, they're going to be hard targets. Like, I'm surprised no one's targeting them right now. This is my easy target because I know I don't get attacked back and I know I won't get nuked or anything like that. So this is a very good one for me to jump on, as we'll just kind of go through YOLO. Excuse me. I'm dying again. It's always when I'm yapping I get a coughin'. But let's spread out our cities a little bit just in case someone nukes us. Now, the thing with stacking cities is, yes, you can protect them more, but it also paints a bigger target on that. So it could be good for Mervs, but at the same time, you know, it's the same thing where if you put a bunch of cities together, it puts a target on it, but it's a little bit more evident now because the number above the cities is more visible. So it's a little bit easier to see where someone's economy is. So spreading out, probably not the worst idea. As we finish up this guy and we're ready to kind of just jump on you. You don't have a ton of money, but we might as well just get you out of the game here and finish you up. Grab some forts on our eastern border. Oh, green is destroying. That is a little bit scary. You have 15 cities, so not a ton. 15 cities, 11 ports. Not the most scary. We have a lot more than that. We have 23, so we're good on that front. Let's go ahead and just continue down south. Start picking out some easier targets, but we're going to have to be aware of green and having to fight him. But if we can get an entire person's economy just based off one attack at 30%, I think that is a much better option for us than trying to go into a big guy right away. Let's accumulate a lot more strength. We're at 26 cities, 11 ports. Not worried about too much in trade. When you kind of get start to snowball like this, you really don't need to worry about ports and trading at all. The money will come from eliminating other players. Cities are always much more important. Let's continue down into purple guy over here. He's got a decent economy himself. He's got 16 cities, so that's definitely something to jump on. Unfortunately, we have to go through some of these forts, but we'll just kind of daisy chain our way down. And I think we can get a cutoff here with this one. Do we get the cutoff? We do. Hey, that's great. That's great news. So we got a free city and a fort off that. And now we can just kind of bull force our way down into this guy. And you have died. Let's jump on you a little bit. Yeah, green is getting a little bit scary. We have a lot more economy than he does. I mean, we have 27 cities. He has nowhere near that. So we can just kind of keep pushing into these smaller guys for their economy and just kind of keep ramping ourselves up. We're going to start saving our money, though, not spending any of it, just for the Merv. By the way, Mervs now cost 35 million, not 25 million. So they have been upped in price, just as an FYI. That is something that I feel like a lot of people are going to get confused by on the first few games, but the price has been increased. As we continue to just keep rolling through these guys down south, accumulating a ton of cities. Let's go into Adele. He's got 8 more cities to grab. And we are doing pretty well on all fronts. We are being a little bit aggressive on troops, but we're staying near half of our overall capacity, so we can feel good about that. Green's not doing too much, so we can be pretty happy about that. I still think we have time before we have to fight him. And we have regained the crown in terms of area size. We have been the crown the entire time in terms of cities and economy. So I haven't been too worried about fighting green in this moment, as we just accumulate a lot more from these tiny trade guys down south. Let's go ahead and push through this big fort over here, give ourselves some few more options down south. We could boat around, but I don't want to waste an opportunity or any troops in the water, potentially getting shot down by somebody putting out a boat here at the last second. So we'll just kind of brunt force our way through here. And hey, I don't really like how you've cut me off. We have 39 cities. You have 30. Ooh, okay, you have 19. You are actually a pretty good target. I think we could probably take you down. We do have 1,000,000 troops, and I don't really want to mess with you because you're split. Let's go after this guy. Let's get nice attack in here. Let that land. And just launch another attack here to get through the fort. Now, he does have a number of forts on this, but we should be able to kind of roll through him rather quickly. And in fact, we do. Stealing a lot of economy. A lot of his economy was fresh economy stuff he had just captured. So it's not going to be able to come to full force against us right here, right now. As we do get all of this, and we can feel very good about that. So we will not get the elimination on this guy. He's up north as well. You are attacking Volps. Ooh, this might be the time I have to fight you. Because I'm running out of options. Now, you have 10 million. I don't want to let you save up too much. So I think I might just fight you here now. Let's go ahead and get a big attack here. Get a nice slam. Ooh, okay. Slamming doesn't work for me. I don't know. I find a lot more success in sending out boats across rivers than I do anything else. We'll wait a minute to get up to at least half our troops, but that did not work and opened hostilities against this guy and me. So we're in a little bit of a pickle here. He's going to launch some bombs at us. I was hoping that would go a lot quicker, but I still have no idea. I don't really want an alliance with you. I don't really need alliances at this point. So let's go ahead, go here where there's a little bit of economy to grab. Nope, that boat did not go there. That's a small river. That's a weird river. And as soon as we get another boat, we'll launch another, or about half our capacity, we'll launch another boat up north. Yeah, we just targeting kind of your attacks with boats seems to work a lot better for me. But if you guys get the slams, good for you. I'm really not a good, I really cannot wrap my head around the mechanics of a good slam. So let's go ahead and just kind of keep doing this. He is launching a hydrogen bomb into us. It's not going to do anything because we have separated out our economy so much. Let's get a missile silo of our own though. And we could potentially boat into this over here and get up north where his economy is. We do have this little white player who's got some boats in the water, but we should be fast enough to get through this. There he goes, another hydrogen bomb. Not too worried about it, again, because we just have so much more cities than this guy does, and we're just stealing his things. We still have 47 cities, so not even concerned at all with it. There's his rockets. He does have a SAM site. Let's see if we can get an attack. No, that really didn't do anything. Gosh, enough with the slamming, Corgi. You're just not getting it. It's not working for you. We can get another boat in the water. And we are almost to a Merv. Here, you know what we can do? Let's go ahead to hydrogen bomb here. See if we can take out a number of his structures up north. And then we'll just continue to keep boating down south. I think that's a great plan for us. As he does have a ton of forts here. My goodness, the forts are really slowing us down. But consolidated attack, good. We did get rid of the SAM site and one of his launchers. We can probably just go ahead and launch a atom bomb right there to get rid of that last launcher. And we just keep pushing up north. You have left the game. See, this is kind of what I'm talking about. This guy leaving the game. I'm going to be straightforward with you. If he had started attacking me, he could have done a ton of damage because I don't have a lot of troops right now. Everyone can kind of see that. But because I don't have any real threats, I have an isolated 1v1. People need to stop treating this game as an isolated 1v1 like, oh, I'm fighting the crown, and treat it more as like we are fighting the crown. I think that would add a lot of dynamic and fun atmosphere to the game. But that's just my opinion. But we'll just keep working on this guy. He's out of money for another hydrogen bomb. He might be able to build another silo, but I'm not too worried about it at this point, as we're just going to be able to rip through his economy at this point and just kind of keep going across the river. Our little boating strategy does seem to be working a little bit more effectively than anything else, as we can just kind of keep moving through all this. And he's building another silo. Let's just go ahead and launch it, even though we'll probably get up there in time. So we'll just kind of not risk it. I mean, he can only launch atom bombs at this point, so nothing's too detrimental. Oop, that was an accidental attack. Oh, gosh, he's not dead yet. And now we're going to have to wait a long time. See, you think 400,000 would trump 50,000, but alas, no. You would be wrong. How foolish of you. Let's go ahead and send another boat down here and just kind of keep working after this land. We do get another port. Anon grabbed it a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see if we can get... wait a minute to get a few more troops in here. See if we can just finish this guy off. He's kind of capitulated at this point in terms of his strength. I just want to leave a door open for Anon to jump in here. So let's go ahead. Okay, good. We do have enough troops and land. Almost. Gosh, come on, man. The guy doesn't have anything. Let's just wait a minute. Keep our troops up high. Don't be worried about it. And now we can go finish this guy up. Good. He's out of the game. We just have this little bit of territory for him left. And now we're in a very driving, commanding position at 47%. We are definitely in the driver's wheel. So a lot of people could potentially work against us in this moment. Papal has 47 million. Like, this guy could murder me right now if he had stayed in the game. But he's left. So we could just jump on him and grab all of his gold and money. We're going to be a little bit cautious here. Just keeping our troops up again for Anon, so he doesn't feel like he can attack us and steal any of our land. We do have enough for one of our own mervs, should he decide to attack us. And Anon has nowhere near the money to do the same. So we can finish up this guy over here. Wada bada bing. Oh, he's got a little bit of land over here. Let's go ahead and send a little boat into the radiated land. I'm not sure what the point of these like half rivers are. Like, you see this one that's not connected to a major river. What's the point of those? And we can kind of... Who's this guy? Who's stealing my trade? Is it you? Here. Give me some things out here. And let's go after this. Okay. He has been eliminated. Has he been eliminated? Yeah, we got his money. Okay, he's dead. Let's go after this guy too. Just prevent him from doing any more damage to us. And we're now sitting at 1 million troops. So let's go ahead and just finish off this irradiated land for ourselves. Not in a big rush to do anything. We're just in an overarching commanding position. Anon is nowhere near the 35 million to be able to launch any kind of bombs at me of significance. The Merv would be the only one that would be detrimental at this point. So we can take a moment to grab our irradiated land. As credit to the green player, he did launch a lot of bombs at me and they did hurt. But we just had so much land that it didn't really matter at the end of the day. So there's the rest of our irradiated land. Our country is now whole. Yes, it is whole. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and build some cities. And I'm just going to build a little bit of a SAM network here. And just kind of trying to out proximity any kind of hydrogen bomb. We might want to build something here. We'll see. But just kind of doing this strategy means that people are going to have to send multiple bombs into us to be able to affect this. And we're just going to really kind of focus on the areas where people could potentially bomb us. We'll get that. And that should be pretty well for us. So let's go ahead, upgrade our city over here. The only thing is I have not been able to see if the control works at all for this. If anyone's been able to make that work, let me know. But I have not been able to get it to go. Let's go ahead actually and just finish this up. We don't need to be building a super city. I was thinking about showing that off, but at the same time, you got the picture, right? Like, if you stack the cities, the number goes above it. There doesn't seem to be any limit. I haven't reached a limit. I've gotten over 20. But if anyone has reached the limit, let me know. And we'll just kind of finish up these smaller players in the board over here. So this should be the end of you, sir. Indeed it is. And then we can work on this guy up north. And he's done. And we're at 72%. So let's go ahead and experiment with the Mervs. So let's go ahead and launch Merv. In fact, let's launch 2 Mervs. Just for fun. But here goes our 2 Mervs. And we'll kind of see the impact zone difference change from the previous game to this one. See how much bigger it is. Ooh, those impact zones are definitely smaller. They almost seem as small as like an atom bomb. But 2 of them does do a little bit of damage, but didn't do a ton of damage to the guy. That's interesting. We'll have to kind of explore that a little bit more. But that's going to do it for today. So as we do start to wrap things up, just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far in the video. If you have made it this far in the video, hey, give it a thumbs up. Really helps out a lot. If you're new around here, subscribe for more. But for now, boys, I'll see you in the next one.